Hello friends, today I'm going to be giving you an example of rhyme, rhythm, and repetition in poems. And I'm going to use the poem Clay Play by Kristen O'Connell George to show you what that sounds like. Rhythm, rhyme, and repetition, those are examples of patterns or things that repeat over and over and over again in a poem. Rhythm is the beat of the poem, so how things kind of sound in your ear. And rhyme is the use of words that have the same ending sounds, like the word bat and cat. Bat has the same ending sound as cat, which means those words rhyme. Rhyme is the use of words that have the same ending sounds, so we just talked about that, and a lot of poems have that. And repetition is what happens when a poet uses the same words or phrases over and over again. A phrase is a part of a sentence, a group of words. Reading a poem aloud is a very good way to find these patterns. Okay, I'm going to read the poem Clay Play aloud to you. Clay Play. While I do it, I want you to think about what kind of rhythm do you hear? Does it make it sound kind of like a song? Be thinking about that. Okay, pound it, round it, stretch it, roll it. Braid or bowl it. Here, I'm going to go a little closer. Braid or bowl it. Mold it, fold it, press it, flat, and very thin. For daisy petals, fish's fin. Take a lump, a good-sized chunk, or oak tree stump, or elephant trunk. Is it crooked? Not quite right. Pound it, round it, stretch it, roll it, braid or bowl it, fold it, mold it, until you see what it really wants to be. Okay, when I read this poem out loud, I notice that the poem repeats the word it over and over again. Like here it says pound it, here it says stretch. I'm going to underline each of the its I find in the poem. Stretch it, braid or bowl it, mold it, or fold it. Press it flat and very thin. Thin for daisy petals, fish's fin. Take a lump, a good-sized chunk for oak tree stump or elephant trunk. Is it crooked? Not quite right. Pound it. Round it. Stretch it, roll it, braid or bowl it, fold it, mold it, until you see what it really wants to be. So by repeating the same word over and over again, the poet uses the word it to make it have kind of a rhythm like a song. It makes their writing go kind of like a song in a poem. Okay, let's think about how they're also using it at the end of a sentence. That also gives it a rhythm. Okay, let's talk about lines and stanzas. I want you to go ahead and take a look at at stanza number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go ahead and take a look at stanza number 5. Remember, stanzas are paragraphs or parts of a poem, and lines are part of a poem that is separated from the rest of the poem. Okay, so lines, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines in stanza 5. Okay, let's take a look at the repetition of the end of the poem. That means let's take a look at how the word it is repeated at the end of these lines in this stanza. By doing this, the poet is really wanting you to see the different ways that you can play with clay. I want you to think about how in the so we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a look at the third and fourth stanzas. What's different about these stanzas? Well, if you take a look at the words at the end, the author does not repeat the words, does not repeat the word it. Instead, the author uses 2 completely new words. I noticed something new about these words. They have the same ending sound, don't they? The words C and B. They both make the E sound. That means these words rhyme. So the author uses lines 3 and 4 and uses that to show us that they can make the words rhyme and sound or have the rhythm be a little bit different. All right, that's all I have for you today on poems. If you have any questions about poems, go ahead and ask me during our Zoom videos or on Google Classroom. I hope this was helpful and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.